I just know that this entire video and this whole time, and I'm not redoing this again because I already tried to film twice and I was out of focus, that I was staring at the viewfinder. So if I'm not looking at you guys or making enough eye contact, I'm sorry. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I've been wanting to do a Q&A style video for a while now. Just in case you're new here, I do other social medias like TikTok and Twitch, and in case you don't know me, I thought a Q&A would be the best way to know me. So I asked you guys a couple weeks ago on Instagram to ask me a variety of questions. I didn't want to just put in like the basic like, what's your name, how'd you get started? I kind of wanted fun questions, so let's get right into it. Okay, my camera died, but I was basically saying that I want to make all different types of content on this channel. The next question is best lightsaber under $200. So this is probably my most asked question. I think I get asked this question every single day on my Twitch streams and on every single TikTok I post, every Instagram post is where do I get my lightsabers? So I want to actually do a separate video on this, but if you're looking for a lightsaber under $200, you're probably looking towards an LGT lightsaber, or you're looking towards a NeoPixel, probably not a character hilt, so you're not going to get maybe like a Luke NeoPixel for that price. There are some on the market that are under 200, but I always recommend looking at like Art Sabers, Padawan Outpost, Saber Swing, Imperial Workshop. Like there's a tons of different companies. Like I'm definitely going to touch on them, so stay tuned. When did you start cosplay? I actually started cosplaying during quarantine. It's the same time I started my TikTok. I started cosplay very end of December in 2020. So I've really only been cosplaying for a little over a year now, and my first cosplay was Rey. So if I can find it, I'll prop up a picture right here. Next was my favorite Star Wars movie of all time. Mine is Empire Strikes Back. I know, everyone's gonna say, oh, yours isn't Revenge of the Sith. Yes, it's up there in maybe like my top 3 or 4, but Empire Strikes Back is my personal favorite, and I think one that is super slept on is Rogue One. What do you find yourself doing when you're in a funk? Honestly, I kind of just let it happen. I'm the type of person that like, when I get into a bad like mental headspace or I'm in a funk, I know right away I'm in a funk, because like immediately I'll just start like picking myself apart or acting differently, and I'll just pick up on it. So once I'm in a funk, I kind of just acknowledge that I'm in it, and I just let it take its course. Things I do, I like to clean my room. I like to like deep clean when I'm feeling super horrible or super down. I like to deep clean because it makes me feel productive, which is like the best booster, and it's like relaxing to me. So I feel like cleaning is the best thing. It gets your mind off of things, it's productive, and then you're in a clean environment by the end of the day. So yeah, just let it happen, take care of yourself, clean. Another question that I get asked a lot is how did you grow your social media platforms? My biggest tip and my best advice is to maximize on all your platforms. Pretty sure there's an American expression, forgive me, my parents are foreign, don't put all your eggs in one basket, because if that basket breaks then you have no eggs or something. Don't put all your eggs in one basket social media wise. Don't just rely on YouTube to bring in your audience and your income. My best advice is if you make a 15-second video for TikTok, post that TikTok to an Instagram reel, post that to a YouTube short. If you are streaming, take a game clip and from your stream and then post that everywhere. Like get as much content as you can. It's something that I'm still working on, but that is truly my best advice, because you're going to bring in audience from all different types of platforms that are going to intertwine with each other and help build off of one another. Other advice, maybe more towards streaming, is find streaming communities. My best advice is to do like raids or join other people's communities. Maybe you could do a stream with somebody else, like collaborations. Collaborations are pretty good too. How much work goes into filming one of your lightsaber transition videos? I've done plenty of these. I honestly, now that I've done so many, probably like half an hour. If I'm going into a cosplay, so like I start off normal and then I transition to a cosplay, that might take me longer because I actually have to get like my hair and makeup done and then put my cosplay on. So I would say anywhere from half an hour to 2 hours at most. It should not take you more than 2 hours. And I promise you guys, like the key to these transition videos are just like timing. Honestly, I feel like my favorite transition videos that I do always end up with me spinning the lightsaber, and I like to change colors. A lot of my most viral ones also go viral because I change the color so seamlessly, or I try to do a trick while changing the color. You know, it's just a mind game. Like, as long as it looks good to you, it's gonna look good to everybody else. This is probably one of my favorite questions. If you were in an apocalypse, what Marvel character would you want on your team? It's a no-brainer. Like, I already thought about this, and immediately my go-to answer was Groot. I am Groot. And I was like, okay, why are you picking Groot? And it's because I love Groot. But it's also because Groot's a tree. And he can't turn during a fucking zombie apocalypse. He is OP! Like, I don't understand. He can provide protection because he'll just grow around you. He can provide light for you if you need it. He's tall and can see everything. Like, you get the ultimate high ground with Groot. I'm Groot. The next question I got asked was my most awkward fan experience. I have had a few fan encounters now. Most of the time I meet you guys at Disney, which is like the best place and the happiest place on earth, obviously. But I've had a one time that really sticks out to me. This was my first time going to Hollywood Studios since Galaxy's Edge had opened up. And I was with my best friend and my parents. It was freezing. So usually I go to Florida in like June and July when it's like 100 plus and like I just sweat my, you know.
What do you mean by that?
Whatever. I went to Florida probably early March and it was just cold. Like, this was the first time I had ever gone to Disney and wanted a jacket. And I was dressed appropriately. I had a sweatshirt and jeans on, but I was still freezing. So we went into one of the gift shops so that I could buy a Mickey Mouse zip-up jacket so I could put that over my sweatshirt. And so I was trying to take off my sweatshirt. I don't remember why. I think I had like another one with me and it was like too, like, you know when you layer too much, it's like you're stiff and you can't move. That was happening to me. So midway of me taking off my sweatshirt, a fan comes up to me and is like, hey, can I get a picture with you? Insert picture with them here. It was really awkward because as soon as I lifted my shirt up, like my chin got caught when I was taking it off and my bra was showing. And so I knew he had seen my bra and I was like, I know you saw it. I know that you know that I know you saw it. And now we both have to just take a picture and just smile and laugh it off. He was super polite. Like, he did not mention it at all. It was just awkward. My face got really red because I was like, okay, like I have to just put my sweatshirt on so that we can take a photo. And my best friend was laughing the whole time. But that was my most awkward one. Like, would you ever do a podcast? Yes, 100%. I would love to do a podcast. Since quarantine, like probably for the past year, my favorite source of social media, if it counts as a social media, is a podcast. I listen to like Zane and Heath Unfiltered, Pretty Basic. Like, I listen to a ton of different podcasts. I even listen to business podcasts sometimes because like I'm lame and I like to hear what they have to say. But I myself would do a podcast. I would probably also do a podcast with like a friend of mine. If I were to have my own or do it in general, I know for a fact it would probably be fandom themed, but I don't want my podcast to only focus on fandoms. I think I would also talk about like random topics and have guests on. It'd be really fun. I would do a podcast. What's my favorite video game? Dead by Daylight. That's it. Period. End of sentence. Dead by Daylight's my favorite video game. I am a horror streamer. Shout out on my Twitch. My Twitch is Slayas. I have an awesome community on there. Shout out stream community. You know what's up. Yeah, Dead by Daylight is my favorite game. It's probably the game I'm most known for as well. I am a survivor main, not a killer main, but my second favorite game, probably, oh, I was gonna say Pokemon, but the Kirby game comes out so soon. I don't know if I'm gonna post this before or after the Kirby game comes out, but I know that's going to be my favorite. Like, the open world game looks freaking amazing. Then I got the question, if you got to choose a starter Pokemon in real life, which one and why? I'm a grass type bitch. I'm a grass type starter Pokemon girly. I would probably choose Turtwig. He is my favorite starter, or one of my favorite starters. I love Turtwig so much. Also, Torterra is just OP. Like, having Turtwig as my starter, not only would he be my best friend and so cute, but Torterra is super OP. So when he evolves, I'm set. Another question that somebody asked me is, how did you get into streaming? I'm a social butterfly with like amongst my friends and people I'm comfortable with, but I was bullied pretty bad in school. Um, Excuse me, sorry. I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I just had to burp. I was bullied pretty bad in school. I had to like transfer buses and fill out some harassment forms, and unfortunately, it didn't go away out like throughout high school. But I was also a club swimmer my whole life, so I spent a lot of my free time focusing on swimming, and that was like my favorite outlet. I would say I got into streaming because during swim season, swim meets are pretty long for all my swimmers out there. You know, it can be like a 9 to freaking like 14-hour meet. So I would be on my phone a lot, and to pass time, obviously I couldn't stream, but I would watch my favorite streamers. And my comfort people were Stampy and Squid growing up. So watching them play Minecraft and seeing how many people online made them, like they made so many people happy, I just knew I wanted to do the same. I also just love playing video games, and my biggest goal during quarantine when I started social media was just creating a platform or a space or community where everybody felt safe and they could just geek out, because I know there's some toxic fans out there, and I know some people kind of suck, or maybe you don't feel like you belong where you are right now in your environment, but the world is so big. So I started streaming because I love playing video games, and I wanted to create a community where everybody feels welcome and can just game and geek out together. I feel like I'm going on story times this whole video. All right. How did you get into Star Wars? I have 2 older siblings, so growing up as the youngest child, it was hard for me to fit in. I got into Star Wars because of my brother. My brother really liked Star Wars. My sister really liked Marvel, so that's how I kind of branched into both of those fandoms. I would say my biggest moment of like knowing I was into Star Wars was, 1, I played Lego Star Wars religiously on the GameCube. Still the best. GameCube cannot be topped. So I played Lego Star Wars all the time. And 2, just being named Leia. Everyone called me Princess Leia growing up, so I kind of got used to that, and that's how I got introduced into Star Wars. How many lightsabers do you have? I would say over 50, under 75, and it is a growing collection, and I am proud, and General Grievous is jealous, as he should be. And the last question that somebody asked me was, what's the hardest thing about social media? And the reason I'm including this question is because I feel like a lot of creators don't talk about social media and like the practicality of it and the reality of it. I'd say social media is hard because you constantly have to put yourself out there, and it's not easy to like always put yourself out there, and you need to have like a form of confidence, and the internet can break that pretty fast. The hardest thing is loving yourself online. I guess like people have such an image of yourself that it's hard to also love yourself, and I feel like if you're not a confident person going in, the internet might not be the safest place to like put yourself out there if you're new to it, just because everyone can be so ruthless and cruel sometimes. It's like horrible. I mean, social media has so many like pluses and positive things to it, but the hardest things, I'd say, making friends that you can trust, because unfortunately the bigger you get, the harder it is to trust people. I would say it's also hard to just put yourself out there in general with the kind of content that you make, especially as a cosplayer. You're putting yourself out there as a character, so it's like double scary. Okay, so those are all the questions that I had for this video, and thank you to anybody who sent them in on my Instagram. I appreciate you. Hopefully you know more about me now after this video. I mean, the basics are I'm Lea Martinez, I'm also Slayas, I stream on Twitch, I'm 19 years old, I'm a cosplayer, and I love Kirby. That's all you really need to know. Keep on slaying. Bye!